Hello friends, I'm glad to meet you after a really long time and apologies for not being present during the last LPS stint. I'm currently working in VP account in Hyderabad, playing the roles of both project manager and service delivery manager simultaneously. At the beginning of my stint, I took some time to understand the delivery process and also understand the job of various stakeholders. But then I figured out the best way is to learn via an on-the-job experience. So with this view in mind, I've undertaken the project management of three enhancement projects, each of duration 10 to 12 weeks, so that I can get an end-to-end exposure to SDLC. The first two projects were pure enhancement where functionalities were added to the existing bespoke applications. And the third is an infrastructure project where we had installed a new web server, replacing a legacy one and migrating all the underlying applications without much disruption to the business. Uh, I was involved right from the estimation all the way through planning, requirement analysis, design, implementation, and till production sign off. Coming to the maintenance and support, I took charge of two major issues which were bothering my co-mentor. The first is aging ticket resolution, and the second is resource fulfillment for business objects and Informatica. Before starting this, I've undergone some basic training in managed services and ticket lifecycle. I sat with all the tech leads along with an architect and analyzed the 6-month ticket data along with all the mail chains and identified some major issues. Issues were identified both with our team, with the vendors like SAP and IBM, and also with some of the users in BP. And I made a list of recommendations and presented it to my mentor. And then he suggested that most of these issues would be resolved if we implemented some of the next gen delivery concepts. So I took the help of a project manager from some other account and implemented some of the concepts to start with the visual management, the daily huddle meetings, the digital day in life of so that productivity can be tracked better, the segmentation of the team so that tickets can be classified properly before they are allotted, and also introduce some standardization techniques for better work practices. And the last leg, automation. So we also initiated some automation initiatives. This is also a mandate from the BP ruthless automation team. Ever since the oil crisis, BP has a fad about the word ruthless. So within BP you hear all these words like ruthless virtualization, ruthless automation, ruthless pursuit. So anyways, so I sat with the tech leads of all the towers and identified all possible areas where automation is possible and manual effort can be eliminated. I worked mainly in the area of agentless monitoring, for example, solution manager for business objects and site scope for all the Dart and ISE servers. Uh, Apart from this, I also worked on the cloud migration assessment of all the applications and servers in entire downstream portfolio. This is as a part of an ongoing RFP. The main purpose of the RFP is that BP wants to completely do away with the data center operations and move to cloud, barring some very critical applications. The overall experience was good. I got a good exposure to project management, service desk, client visit planning, governance mechanism, audit from both the audit team and the quality team, and also explored the areas of account mining. Since delivery is a revenue generating entity, you get to interact with a lot of folks both within the Wipro and with the client personnel. So I should say I got a good chance to network with the stakeholders in pre-sales, sales, of course delivery, finance and some other service lines. More than the learnings, I faced too many challenges. Like for example, the support engagements and the AD projects often involve working in a multi-vendor or multi-team scenario, and it has its own pros and cons. Um, Teams often don't work in a constructive way. The communication is lost as it passes from one team to the other, and teams often try to find fault with the others and score some points. And especially during transition, you'll observe that the knowledge transfer is not being done properly. So as a result, the support teams are affected. So this is one issue, and the second and the biggest issue I faced was with regards to resourcing. uh, it's a painful process. I mean, all service-oriented companies are highly process-driven, and Wipro is not an exception. Though we have raised perfect indents with perfect job description, the profiles shown are often irrelevant, and even if we try to, I mean, even if we find a relevant candidate, the approval process is very complex and sometimes non-uniform across the bands. I guess Roberto can share my pain in this. Uh, and the third issue is this I found not just in my account but across the accounts, is that the tech leads are supposed to not just uh, work on the complex task, they're also supposed to generate more tech leads from their subordinates and guide them. So this is not being done in an efficient way. So these are the main issues which I observed or faced during my stint. So the one thing which I realized about myself is that I thought I was a good programmer, but I still am. So this is one thing. And looking forward to meet you guys and learn from each and every one of you. Thank you.